What's going on, my people? Welcome to Ears to the Street with Fact and Entertainment. Me, I am your host, HG, and we got my co-host in the building, Off Grid on Code. What's going on, Off Grid? How you feeling, bro?
Oh, doing well, brother. Doing well. Out here at
That's
the
what's
camp right now, actually building. And we got a big project coming up later on in the month.
okay. Okay, do you want to disclose it to the folks? Let them put them up on game, man.
Oh
If
yeah,
you want.
yeah, definitely. I think for Memorial Day weekend, what we're planning tentatively is well, we're going to be down here building regardless. But we're tentative on setting Memorial Day weekend, setting that aside for people that want to, well, people that are invited to come down and witness, take part in, and experience off grid, living. We're going to be building a tiny home down here, an official tiny
Mhm.
home. So if you want to get your feet wet with what it feels like to be at an off grid camp, um, and to experience black people, exclusively all black people, off grid, um, that have been out here. It's fully off grid. Solar panels, got chickens running around here. You all right. You just pull up and with your basic creature comforts and everything is good. And yeah, come on out here and do some building with us and take part of history.
So there y'all have it, people. Y'all make sure y'all go to Off Grid on Code. Um, on Instagram. You can contact me if you want to get in touch with them and be a part of this historical event where you have a couple brothers, or you have a couple brothers down there, including Off Grid. Building their own community, own black community, 69 acres of land. You know, we always talk about nation building. We always talk about organization, but I've witnessed these brothers um, by what they told me, turn a rural area full of forest into a habitable living community that they're constantly working on and constantly building. And I got to see it firsthand, and it's definitely an amazing sight and worth being a part of. And I definitely plan to make my way down there during that particular project y'all got going on down there, and assist with that. So make sure y'all get in contact with us if y'all want to be a part of that. You know, so yeah, man, we've been gone for a little minute, but we back. You know what I'm saying? Is to the street. Off grid on code. We back, and we got a lot to talk about, man. We got a lot to talk about. We got Chinese police stations all across America, communist China. You know what I'm saying? They setting up shop.
Yeah.
They setting up shop on American soil. We gonna talk about that. We gonna give y'all update on the Mallerys, the Colorado couple who you know supposedly or claims that they were under systemic racism and community racism, and the livestock was being attacked and all this, and these all these claims they made, which at this point seems like a load of crock. At this point, we'll give you guys an update on that, and I definitely want to go into this a little bit about this House bill, this 1020 House bill passed in Mississippi. That's you know, it's basically it could be some Jim Crow shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Like a little reemergence of some Jim Crow going on in Mississippi. Maybe they started trying to start it back up. Like it ain't like it never left though. And the fourth topic we're gonna hit on is the this new drug Trank. And I just seen this like literally like 10 minutes ago. Seen a little post on Instagram. So we're gonna dive into it. We're gonna dive into it. So let's get on this Mallery thing first.
Yeah,
I
the
got the I
Mallories,
got the
man.
yeah. Tap in if you got something for 'em.
I mean, the Mallories, if I can recall, just off the dome, was a couple that used to live in Houston, and then when a tornado or hurricane came through a couple years ago, I think 2000, um, They they left Houston and they moved to Colorado. They moved to um, what's that area again?
Colorado Springs.
Colorado, Colorado Springs, that county, Colorado Springs,
Mm-hmm.
to a town that's 85% white. This is a black man and woman named Courtney and Nicole Mallery. The brother is Courtney and the wife is Nicole.
Nicole, yeah.
And so they're in their 40s. Um, so they moved to Colorado and they acquired what's reported as a 1,000 acre ranch. I've heard different numbers. I've actually read. I've heard and read. I've actually read in the library, um, online, but I researched what I could there. Um, 600 some acres. I heard something else was 900. So I don't know, but they own a lot of acres. They own over 500 acres, which is a lot. Um, So they were claiming that they were living there and the cattle was being decapitated and murdered and mutilated. Their dog, their fence, just their property. 86% Caucasian. They were the only blacks in that area, and they were being discriminated against by the citizens and the law enforcement when they were calling the police because of the vandalism to their home.
Mm-hmm.
They were discriminated against, so they called in and made a few Facebook posts, and some people went down there. Fred Hampton Gun Club went down there. Another um, group went down there. I don't know their name. It was kind of wide on Instagram for a minute. I caught it on Instagram. I had heard about them months ago prior to this, but I came across it recently on Instagram. So I dove off into it and believe the hype. I believe that this is a black man and woman that's in Colorado. They got 1,000 acres. How dare these people, you know, try to move in on them like that? So
Mm-hmm.
after researching, which we should do, this is a lesson in research, man. I wish we would get this more, man. And this is not my opinion. One thing, have you noticed this? When you have disagreements with people in different disputations, and y'all agree to disagree, or y'all just disagree, period. Have you noticed that a lot of times people throw in, well, that's your opinion. Well, that's what you think. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, yeah. That's usually the response you get.
Because because arguments used to be whether the information was wrong or right. That's what arguments used to be. That
Mm-hmm.
information is wrong. This information is right. Now is that's your that's what you think. That's your experience. I don't know who
Right.
created that shit because that's not even the issue at the end on what I believe or what I think. It's
Mm-hmm.
the hand. So I researched the case. You read a story like that, yeah, you either gonna believe it or you don't believe it. I had no reason not to believe it. I didn't have a reason at that time to not scrutinize it. So I jumped in and I did my research, and I was coming up with question marks on a lot of things that where it shouldn't be question marks. Um, so after some time passed, did the full research on it. And that's when we did a couple stream yards on it, where we come to find out that's where the story is a little bit shaky. So to bring everybody up to date, anyway, they ended up um, starting some type of march. They were trying to pass a law, some Karen Act, where citizens who call law enforcement if they're trying to be racist, they would get charged with the Karen Act. Not make a phone call and using race as a means of emergency, or however is quoted. They wanted people to
Mm-hmm.
come up there to Denver to go to the Capitol for that, and they wanted people to donate. In the end, the Mallory's ended up $100,000. This other organization, I don't know the organization name, but the brother name was Hawk. I think Hawk Newsom. He went down there with his organization, and they were, obviously taking in solicitation money for their organization. So it's like you got like a free fall of people. Because I mean, because
All right, we're gonna wait for him to come back on. So yeah, basically this whole situation with the Mallorys, we've been kind of staying abreast to it, and with the validity of what these people are saying, you know, it's seeming like, you know, this could have been some, you know, scam, maybe exaggerated to generate more, to generate, you know, some financial revenue, you know what I'm saying, for these people. You know, it's just not, it's just the story isn't adding up. The story isn't adding up. And when Off Grid comes back on, you know, I have a clip I want to play from Michi X. Most of you guys should be familiar with her. All right, here come Off Grid right now. All right, you good? Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, my audio and video goes out every now and then. Sometimes it's strong, but sometimes it goes out. I'll try to do better on that. But so yeah, they ended up getting $200,000, over $200,000. The brother Hawk Newsom, he gave out his information and he was getting some money in. I had a conversation about him about that. No telling who else, but and that's all we heard. So checking around months later, I believe that the brother Hawk and the Mallerys, they aren't friends anymore on that. They're not connected anymore on Instagram. Um, and Michi X, who did an interview with them in the beginning and threw out the offer for support, she did a recap. Come to find out, she said that the wife Nicole was always asking about the GoFundMe, you know, like
And
donating
I
money.
actually,
She said she asked about $20,000.
yeah, I
Asked
actually
them about some 20,000.
have that video. You want to run it right quick because this is a short, it's a short part. Um, Matter of fact, let's do that. Let me see if he's gonna pop back in or not. So I'm gonna do a screen share and I'm gonna play that part that he was just mentioning in regards to Michi X speaking on. Yeah, now what I was saying before you went out is that I actually got that small segment. So let's run it right quick and get what she had to say, Michi X had to say on it.
Yeah. But
Mm. All right, here we go.
Deal spiel in here. Like I watch people give $250,000 to them black farmers in Colorado. And I know I asked y'all to call so he could get out of jail because they paid bail. But I'm gonna tell you another thing. Do you want to know why I never came back and I never told y'all anything about those people? Because every time I tried to speak to the woman about how we can help them in a help way, and I was like, can we send you some protection? How can we help you to do what you got to do? She just wanted me to give y'all the GoFundMe account. When they was asking for like $20,000 and here it was like $250,000. Like, ma'am, okay, we want to know if we can rally up to change things for you in that county. We want to know if we can use protection. We want to know if we can make a loud noise so we can maybe deal with the politicians and the police and people that are there. She didn't want that. Once they saw how much money they could make, they continued to play on y'all emotions. So I refuse to use my audience to get her money. But I'm just giving you, see, these are the things you see when you're behind the scenes, you do activist work. This is what I mean. I've seen too much. I know too much.
All right, there you have it. There you have it. That's pretty much all she said on the Mallory's up there in Colorado. But there you have it. You see, you know, she reached out to them directly, and they just hit all the support she could have offered. She has a pretty big following, over 83,000 subscribers. I wasn't familiar with her. Our grid put me up on her, but based off this particular live that she did, seems that she's been active in the community. Seems like she's well known, and she threw a few names out there that I was familiar with. So you got somebody that's reaching out to this couple in Colorado to actually lend some assistance, and they just send you to the GoFundMe, like, just send me some money, you know. So that says a lot right there, especially when you're supposedly making claims that you got a whole county on your ass. You know what I'm saying? The sheriff's after you, the neighbors after
exactly.
you. you know what I'm saying, the racist cows is beating up your cows and killing them, like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, anything else you want to add with the Mallerys? I mean, at this point, if you send money to the Mallerys, it's just like, you know, you just caught up in the hype and you just want to feel like you're doing something, even though you supporting the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the Mallery shit, right? Ain't nothing really,
Yeah, I
ain't really
mean,
nothing else to, you know, ain't really nothing else to update. It hasn't gotten any more news coverage.
I
You
haven't.
you did say that they deleted their Instagram page, right?
Yeah, I had. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah. It's choppy on my part, but yeah, this
Okay.
brother that has an Instagram called Where the Money Go. He does investigative work on there. He told me that somebody's compiling some information on the Mallerys and what happened up there, and he said that he noticed that their page was taken down. So like I said, man, it's a shame how they was able to get in, how nobody really knows them. Like nobody stepped forward and was like, yeah, I know the Mallerys. I remember them from Houston. Like nobody knows them. Um, nobody's came forth that know them. And they were able to raise over $200,000, for that bullshit up there, man. It's a shame how there's people that's trying to put things together that can actually use money like that and actually make things happen where shit like that don't even matter. You know what I mean? They could. It's people who could have utilized that money and set up things in any state that which whatever whichever of they're choosing, and do something that would equal out way more beneficial than giving it to them for what went on up there, man. We should
Yeah,
be
man.
tired of that, but it's still going to continue to keep on going on because people don't check back up. She even said it. Michiesh even said it. She said, "Y'all notice the reason why I didn't." And it's like she was wrong for that. It's like as soon as you was hearing about it, you were supposed to meet. I don't know where this shit comes from, where people don't put people out there. That's foul. That's the whole point
Yeah.
of
Because if you leave it,
getting shit in
if
line.
you were supporting it, yeah, you kind of froze up.
Yeah,
If you supporting it or you're standing behind it and then you tell people to, donate or whatever, and then you find out that it might be a little funny business going on and you don't come back and update the people, then they're just gonna assume, okay, let me just keep supporting this situation. You know what I'm saying?
keep spreading, keep spreading.
Right. So what you think about these? I know I don't think you was too abreast to it, but you was familiar with the they closed down this secret Chinese police station in New York. I do got an article on it. I'm not about to read the entire article, but let me do a screen share right quick and I'll breeze through it, then we'll chop it up on it. Ooh.
Yeah, I seen that months ago. I actually seen that months ago, man, and tripped off the story. Like, man, is this shit true? Like, what?
Hey man, these these Chinese people putting in work. You know what I'm saying? And it makes me mad because you can have every other race on this planet organizing, coming together, working together, and putting things in play for their people. And I know it's I know we got our fair share of black people doing it, but you know I see it. I see it the least from us. So after FBI bust Chinese police station in NYC, 6 more exposed in the U.S. The FBI helped shut down a clandestine Chinese police station in Manhattan after the arrest of 2 alleged operatives earlier this week. But the Post is told that there are several more of these illegal organizations scattered across the U.S. In addition to the Chinese police station above a noodle restaurant in Manhattan's Chinatown, there's another station at an undisclosed address in New York City, as well as an outpost in Los Angeles, according to the new report by Safeguard Defenders. The Mallery-based human rights group initially published a report last year detailing 100 clandestine Chinese police stations around the world. So China just China setting up shop. What China on off grid? What it look like to you? You know, don't China got the million soldiers? Can you hear me off grid? I think off grid he dropped out. So yeah, China's setting up shop, y'all. They setting up shop. Let me read a little bit more while he till he come back. And here you have it right here. You see this right here. They got one in Minnesota, Nebraska, 2 in California, 1 in Texas, and it was 2 in New York City. So, you know, and I did a live about this in regards to TikTok and how certain legislation was going in on TikTok, you know, for security hazards. And actually a tech company that TikTok was working with called the Oracle was stationed in Texas, and this is where one of these secret police stations is at. So I'm sure you're familiar with the movie Red October, right?
Yeah, that's a submarine, right?
Now, wait. You know what? I didn't mean Red October. I meant Red Dawn.
I seen Red Dawn too, but I'm Red October pop up with the submarine. I gotta see like a preview, a trailer of the
Red Dawn.
Red October. Yeah, Red Dawn. Yeah, I gotta see. Yeah, what was that one about?
So the Red Dawn was about, the first one was with Patrick Swayze. It was about China invading the United States of America. One day everything going all good, and then next thing you know, Chinese people is coming parachuting out the sky and fucking shit up.
I think I've seen that. It sounds like an older one. I think I've seen it before.
Yeah, it's an older film. But you know, just based off how China is moving away from the US dollar. Am I choppy on your end?
Nah, it's clear.
Okay, I just want to make sure because it seems like it's choppy over here. But based off, you know, how China's moving, pulling back from the US dollar, linking up with Russia and a few other countries. I can't remember all of them. Some was from South Africa, you know, getting away from the American dollar. And then at the same time, America has always been cautious of the cyber threat of China, along with this TikTok situation where, you know, legislation is basically getting on China about security hazards, you know, is the information of the US citizens being protected, you know, so that's that presents some security threat. And then now we have these secret police stations popping up all over the country. So I mean, do you smell World War III off grid? What's going on, man? You know, we see a lot of video posts. Go ahead.
That's not a good sign right there. Like I said, I heard of that months ago, and when I think I read a story on it online, I'm thinking like, this can't be true right here, because I'm just thinking about how it sounds. A police, like, just imagine you set up your own police station. That would be shut down. It would be investigated. They would want to get everybody involved, and it wouldn't even get that far. They had it set up where they was like got operations. They probably got file cabinets up in there and coffee machines and shit, and like, they was in there chilling. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's like a takeover. And plus, even without the news letting us know that, we would never know. It ain't like motherfuckers is out politicking. Remember, everybody's so proud of having a small circle. Small circle means little information.
Small circle means little information. Wow, that's definitely a way to look at it. I'm telling you, it's definitely a way to say it. That's
in
crazy.
times of needing to know information, shit, it should be branched out. And once you secure and you chill, then that's when you back out. Most of that like they secure chilling. Average motherfucker ain't got enough to stay secure for 3 days where they at. You know what I'm saying?
Right. you know, it's just crazy how, and that's what I said at the beginning of this. It's just crazy how, you know, you had these Chinese people and they just they moving as a unit, they moving in uniform, you know, they keeping it within their when I they keeping it within Chinatown, you know, so but they got their hubs. You know, it's a Chinatown in every state down there. You know what I'm saying?
That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. It's you know what made me mad. I remember one time they had this video going around on TikTok where these Chinese people dancing to James Brown, right? And I think it's that song, "Gotta Have a Funky Good Time." And these Chinese people, and I swear to you, man, even from when I first got on social media, the first time I seen social media, when I got on it was 2010, like late 2010, and I never really understood seeing white people on there sing,
Yeah,
dance, or do
y'all.
anything that mimics or tries to impersonate somebody black. And sometimes you get weirdo black people that be like, "What does that mean to act black?" So let me put it out there because it's bound to be somebody. It's bound to be somebody say, "What does that mean?" It does depend on where you grew up at. Now, if you're a black person, African American, whatever you refer to yourself as, and you grew up in a multicultural area, and you grew up in it's multicultural enough as to where you actually learning shit when you go around all black people. You actually learn something new because your shit is multi. So people like that, I can understand that. If you're not from that, then you understand, you know, what the hell I'm talking about. But I never understood seeing somebody that's non-black do something that's traditionally black, trying to mimic if it's rapping, dancing, whatever, talking, walking, like anything. Because I think white people take more fun in mimicking us or paying attention to stereotypes as do we do with them. It's like they have shit that we just notice. We just like, yeah, we don't really trip off. It's like we live in life. With them, they the ones that's always neck outstretched, you know, seeing what's going, you know, like birds and shit, trying to figure out what's going on, see what's going on. But so I never understood how niggas, black people would see somebody white like dancing like a white girl twerking and be like, oh, she get it, oh, she fucking it up. I never understood the whole all to me, I ain't gonna lie to you. That's how I know we all not the same. Like some of us might have been over here already. The other ones might have had to get pulled over here on boats, different shit like that. Because I don't think we all. I think it's just like it's just the some of the features look alike in skin color, but you got people in India that's darker than me and you. You know what I'm saying? They have different features and sitting that straight hair, but is brown skinned people all across the world. But it's just something about black people that look at that stuff and be in awe. I don't feel no connection. Like I never felt like that. Like I never thought it was cool to see a white boy rapping. I never thought it was cool to see a white girl twerking. I never thought it was cool that a white woman could try to sing like a sister. I never thought it was cool for a white man to try to dance and do like the ladies black. I don't see that shit. Like, man, he do just like I don't have that whole shock. To me, black people that act like that, those are ones that's like that's something that it's called that's like an atavistic nature. That's something that comes from atavism. That's something that comes up through their ancestors. And I think that's depending on, have you read a lot of slavery books?
Nah, nope.
Okay, I've read enough of them as to where technically when you read about slavery, you hear about the buying, the selling, like you either hear the primitive stages of slavery, you know, getting them and all this and that, or most people hear of the aftermath of it. You know, once the slave's already over here and cutting bellies and everything. But there's an element of slavery where outside of somebody being beat and somebody being mistreated or like something going on, there were times when nothing was going on. It's a relaxed state, and black people learned to express themselves at that time. I remember reading this book one time where the master he would want to go down to the slave quarters and just see what's going on because there's always something interesting. This book that I read, they was focused on the occurrences of slavery, like the styles, what was going on. It wasn't just based on the evils of it. They wanted to focus on some of the idiosyncrasies that people do, like the characteristics that slaves do, and the talk and everything. and it had this one part in there, and it had me laughing. I felt fucked up, but it had me laughing like, damn, they had us broken down like that, or they had them broken down like that. But he talked about when he was riding through the slave quarters on his horse, when he coming down from the big house, and he going to the slave quarters on his horse, and he ride on his horse, and he had a shiny apple in his hand, and it said he had like a handkerchief, and while he ride on his horse, he wiping the apple off, and all the slave little kids and even grown men and shit, they looking and shit. So he trying to pick which little nigga boy, nigga girl he want to chunk the apple to as like his little prized possession and tell him to go up to the house. He said he found one. I don't remember if he said it was a boy or a girl, but he thumped the motherfucking the little niglet apple, and the motherfucker caught it, raising the ear all happy. And you know, reading shit, it fuck you. It's how you like, damn, man, they had us like that's fucked up. Like how you reduce some people that come from Africa, and when you think of Africa, you think pyramids and diamonds. Like how you reduce somebody like that to catching an apple when a motherfucker being all happy and running all off behind you, running up to the house. Like that's fucked up. So I feel like people that get giddy when they see white people do stuff, those are those type of black people. They still they get that from their ancestors, that whole all giddy, you know, master gave you an apple, so you happy and shit. I don't you know, even if he bit up out the apple and chunked it to you, they still would raise it up like a prized possession. I see black people like that, so I don't never side with that, man. Getting excited when I see people do that, but I noticed that that's something that we do.
Yeah, he let's see if he come back in. And that's what's crazy. I don't know if you can still hear me or not.
Okay. I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. You know, we've been here, but like you said, going back to slavery, we just look at white culture. Well, some of us look at white culture as like the epitome of how life should be. You know what I'm saying? Some black people believe that, you know, black people is running around and, you know, just on some savage shit. You know what I'm saying? Just on some savage shit. Like, you know, some people still under that false narrative of, you know, when they think of Africa, they think of the little babies with the stomachs and the flies and all that stuff. When, you know, Africa has some of the most beautiful cities and is geared to have some of the biggest cities within like the next, you know, certain amount of years, maybe going out 20, 30, 40 years from now. You know what I'm saying? Gonna have some of the biggest cities in the world. You know what I'm saying? Africa is. So, you know, it's just that whitewash shit, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and, you know, I ain't trying to go in on the black ladies because I always make it a point not to do that because there's 1,000 things I can say about black men in regards to what I'm going to say is, you know, that, you know, a lot of black women think it's the fashionable thing or the social standard to have weave in their hair, to have straight hair. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, the average black woman hair isn't straight. There's a lot of black women out here who have naturally straight hair. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, for the most part, you have black women who have coiled hair. When it get wet, it's going to coil up. You know, I don't say nappy and shit because I ain't with using that particular term. But you know, they're walking around with the lace fronts. You know, they got the weave. They want to have the blonde hair going down their back. You know, and then you reverse that. You got, you know, white women, and that's what I don't get. It's like it's crazy. And then you have white women doing what you just said in a sense. You know, getting dreadlocks or getting ass implants to make their ass bigger, you know what I'm saying, or breast implants and shit like that, trying to have more of a voluptuous figure. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's like some cross culture weirdo shit going on. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah, man. But I don't know, man. We'll see. You know, all we can do is sit back and watch this shit go down because, you know, black people in America ain't in a position to dictate nothing. We can't dictate too much of anything. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's China, Russia, whoever the fuck, it's kind of like we gotta just
we go along with it. It's like we go. Yeah. Sometimes that's how I look at it, even with us knowing certain news. It's like even knowing about it, we can only move in a certain way to try to avoid, you know, whatever we feel is you know, negativity about to happen to us. We can only do so much because we don't have that, you know, barely a community. You know what I mean?
And that's crazy. I was looking at I was just looking at the poverty, for different ethnic groups, and we're not at the bottom. Native Americans are at the bottom, but we're right above Native Americans. Then I think it was Asians, Hispanics, then whites, something like that, or maybe Native American, Blacks, American, Hispanics, Asian, then whites. There's one or the other. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I was just looking at it, it's like, damn, with 44 million black people, about 9 million of us, based off this particular source, I can't remember what the source was. 9 million of us are living under the poverty line, which is probably like 35,000 a year. It was a lot of so majority of the blacks are above the poverty line, but just because you're above the poverty line doesn't mean that you're financially good. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people above the poverty line that's barely making it, strapped for money, you know what I'm saying, living check to check type shit. But you was just still think, with what they say, the 2 trillion spending power, like all the noise we could be making, you know what I'm saying? All the shit that we could be getting done. You know what I'm saying?
Do you believe that 2 billion thing? Do you believe that blacks spend that much?
I mean, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a big number, but it's a lot of black people. And if you just look at the situation, I mean, shit, if you got 40 plus million people in the United States of America, and if the numbers are accurate to a degree, I could see it being feasible. I could see it being feasible. If the numbers are accurate, I could see it being feasible. Would you think that the statistics may not be true, might be fabricated or something?
I think sometimes what do you measure? Like, what does one measure to see if they agree with that? Because let's say if they say it's not a billion, they say it's 2 billion, right?
Mm-hmm. No, I said 2 trillion.
No, okay, no, I'm talking about our spending habits. They say it's like how much they said that we spend per year?
Yeah, basically like 2 trillion.
2 trillion a year?
Trillion, not billion, trillion.
Nah, man, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
It was like 1.2 trillion. 1.1 trillion. Maybe not 2 trillion, maybe like 1.2. I remember hearing.
Nah, man.
That ain't an accurate fact.
I think that's some of that Willie Lynch shit now, right there, man. Somebody black put that out there, for us to be shocked and be like, we gotta stop. And it's a good tactic, but it ain't working. But okay, see, that's why I said, what do you use to measure? Okay, if somebody just walked up and said, hey man, black people need to pull their resources together. Do you know how much we spend? It's 40 plus million of us over here. Do you know how much totally we spend per year? And somebody say 2 trillion or 1 point something trillion. What do we use to measure to say, yeah, that's it, or nah, it could be a little bit lower, or it could be high? Like so what do you have to go off of?
So I'm looking at so I gotta pull it up now since we're talking about it.
I don't believe that no trillion. Nah, man.
Let me see. This is CNBC. Black spending power reaches record 1.6 trillion. Let me see.
Per year.
Black spending. Let me see.
I think the perpetuation of people holding money and doing all that stuff, I think that's what makes that feasible. That's a lot of money right there, and black people don't even be having much. So all these black people that they have this money that they're spending, they don't have it for. I just recently got a flat tire, and I had troubles. Now, not to say anybody would, but let's say in a different class. Okay, so for my class, I was having troubles, and I was able to get it rectified. So if somebody else is in a higher money bracket, would they be able to get? I guess the mark for them would have to be brand new tire. Let's say 4 brand new tires or whatever. But there's some people that can't afford that. You know what I mean? Then there's somebody else who would afford to say, well, not only do I need my 4 brand new tires, I need to put it in the shop to get an overall diagnostic check and everything. So that's more money. And somebody else above would be like, I need to drop my car off just for them to not drive my other shit. So it's like it's different brackets, but I don't that trillion thing, man. That's
well, this is just
we should be ashamed. We should be ashamed of us. If it is a trillion, we should be ashamed of ourselves, man, because that's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't believe it, and like you said, I ain't in no position to determine how true it is or not either. Basically all you doing is trusting the word of these reports, these census, whoever. Yeah. So, but if it is true, let's give it the benefit of the doubt. If it is true,
you got to look at the wording too. Pull it up a little bit. It said black spending power. So think about that. Blacks, put it up a little bit. Look, it say black spending power. So what does that really mean? Black spending. First of all, so there's no that right there is okay. If that's not a false statement, and I'm focused on the word power.
Mm-hmm.
That's a title that can be scrutinized. Black spending power. First of all, we don't have no spending. There's no power. To me, to put black spending power means that there's certain stores that don't take our money. You know what I'm saying? Like it's back in the day, Jim Crow or something. Nah, there ain't no power in spending money. We got it, so we spending it. So yeah, I think the pursuit of everybody always hollering about a bag and they showing the rappers and the boxes with all this money. I think it adds to that, man. It's no way. I don't think there's no way it could be that high, and we not really like grasping it and seeing. Nah, man.
Hey, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, I ain't in no position to dictate how true it is or not. But I'm just looking.
If it is true, it's sad then, because that's you have to look at the Umars, you gotta look at the Polites, you gotta look at all the scammers, you gotta look at the Marlenas, you gotta look at just the Walmart scams that people be doing. You know what I'm saying? The day prices and different shit. Liquor stores, how that shit be high. You gotta look at all that. If that shit is really true, if it's all bad, then man, that's all bad.
Hey man, it's a sad thing, man. To if it is true for us to generate that amount of money each year, and we ain't got one school, we ain't got one damn school down there. You know what I'm saying?
A lady told I had never knew this. This lady told me last month. She said in Detroit, they had actually closed down. This was years ago. But they had actually closed down a library, and guess what they replaced it with?
A liquor store.
Foot Locker. Ain't that fucked up? Hey, I was like, nah, that's a comedy skit right there. Like the white man he'll close down a library and give motherfuckers a Foot Locker. Like, nah, man, ain't no city did that. They say in Detroit it happened. I was told in Detroit that happened. They
I'm not surprised.
A whole library and turned it into a Foot Locker. I'm thinking like that's blatant. That's blatant. Like, you know what I'm saying? You niggas don't need books.
You niggas some Jordans. You know what I'm saying? Like,
tennis shoes.
Wow, that's crazy. It's not surprising though, man, because that's and I don't get it, man. Like it's like black people, not all black people, but it's a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, that just don't get it, like what we up against, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, it's just like, what has to happen for a motherfucker to get it? You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta literally what, come out your door and see your whole block laid out on the ground dead, like, you know what I'm saying, for you to wake up and get it, like what it is that's happening right here. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you know what I'm saying? And
shut down.
I don't understand. I don't know, man. I just can't be cool with, living under, and it is what it is. We all behind enemy lines in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But right. I just ain't with I can't mentally bow down to um knowing that I'm under a group of people that dictate everything for me. You know what I'm saying? And not my own people. But motherfuckers is okay with that shit. It's some lame shit.
Yeah, it's people that's okay with it.
Then they're justified. You know what I'm saying? Justified and shit. They'll kill you for it. Shit.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers will put you down to protect that shit that
Yeah,
ain't
put
even
me down
there.
to protect that shit. Yeah, put me all the way
That's
down
crazy.
to protect that shit.
All right, so man, let's get into something that's equally fucked up. Um, I want to talk about this Trink, man. I want to talk about this new drug, man, because obviously, if niggas ain't gonna do nothing else, and not just niggas, because there's a lot of white people. Not based off statistics. I was looking at a live that Dr. Inky did, and he basically went through a majority of states that was highest in drug use, and most of the drug use was in quote unquote white, majority white populated areas. You know what I'm saying? So basically what he was saying is that it's more white people doing drugs than black people. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that, to kind of give myself a disclaimer because I was gonna say if niggas ain't gonna do nothing else, they gonna get high. But I just want to give myself a disclaimer and say that based off that live that Inky did, it's more white people getting high than black people. So there y'all
I
go.
feel I feel like this right here on that statement with is more white people doing drugs than black people.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I feel like when stats like that are brought up, only based on our condition, I feel like if black people was on the same playing field level to white people economically, politically, in every faction of life, there's single black men that own 2 and 3 homes and got 2 and 3 cars and everything good. I'm talking about black people is equal to white people politically, financially, all that home ownership, everything. I can see making that statement that way so people we won't be looked at, but we are nowhere near set up to how they are right now financially on any level. But when we say that, no, it's more white people doing drugs than us. Like, how could you even feel to even like assume like how do you? Yeah, it's more like nigga. Who do you see? Who's the face of crack cocaine, motherfucker? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, you can say it's white people that face of meth, but that's some new shit, and it's black people. It's plenty of black people that's on meth now. You know what I'm saying? It's plenty of white people that's on cocaine as well. But it's like I don't understand when we make them stats like that, and when we feel proud, like it's more white people. It's like so what? So if all them stop doing it right now, how does that change our situation? It don't.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
It don't change.
You see how you going?
It don't change it. But yeah, I mean, because people be like, that's like the food stamp issue thing. It's more white people on GR than black people. Okay, so how does that eliminate us that be on it and don't strive to do better? Like, how do you feel like it's more? It's like okay, it's like I don't know. There's certain facts that black people. It's almost like the motherfucker that be online arguing with some white people. And then you start telling them that we built the pyramids. They telling you no, you didn't. The aliens built it, and you arguing with somebody white about the black people built the pyramids. Like, come on, man, you ain't got time for that.
Hey man, these days, shit, like niggas just be trying to get a win any way they can, I guess.
Yeah, win a useless win anywhere where it don't even mean nothing, man.
Oh, the real is crazy. All right, this is a small little clip on this Instagram so we can find out what this Trank thing is.
Knuckles are touching the ground.
Now Art El Malik's hands and knuckles are swollen to 3 times their natural size from exposure to the animal sedative xylazine, street name Trank.
When I was leaving, some had samples, and that's what got me stuck, man. Had samples of pretty dope.
The xylazine now mixed into 90% of Philadelphia's fentanyl and heroin supply, drugs that drive fatal overdoses.
I ain't heard Trank or anything, man, until I came here.
Alarm bells are sounding in Philadelphia about Trank.
And you'd see people kind of like walking around looking like animals when their knuckles are touching the ground.
Now Art El Malik's hands and knuckles are swollen to 3 times their natural size from exposure to the animal sedative xylazine, street name Trank.
When I was leaving,
Yeah, so that's it right there. I just seen
Sad
that.
right
Like,
there, man.
man, bro, it's a nation of fucking. This shit crazy.
And what's crazy,
man.
I was gonna say when he was doing his thing, I was thinking you was gonna say in all the areas like Philly was real hot. I think he gonna say that he going on some black white shit. Don't nobody care about that black white shit on shit like that. That's some shit where it's like, damn,
Yeah, it's fucked up all the way around the board. Like shit.
that's a war.
Yeah.
That's a war. See. And what's crazy, I've been down there. I could provide you with I never showed you any of the clips of when I was down there in Philly, huh?
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna have to send you some clips. Matter of fact, I think it's on my page that's on there now. If you flick back in my thing, you'll see a gang of Philly clips of people like that on the streets years ago when I went out there and took them videos and shit. You know what I mean? It's Philly is I always from being in Los Angeles since '87, I always thought that the most brutal homeless area was downtown Los Angeles. I had never knew that it's actually, I think most people would agree, it's Philly, Kensington Avenue in Philly. That's the grimiest in America.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta bring him on. I got a buddy named Nomad. He came on here, and that's crazy you said McKensington because he did the segment on here where we Tales from the Street, where he just tell me some stories, and he was talking about the Kensington slasher and dude that was killing prostitutes and drug addicts and stuff like that, like women prostitutes and stuff like that. He had served.
Yeah, I was down there. I was down there when the one lady who I was down there, she told me that at that time I think it was a female killer out there. They thought that the killer was a female. They thought it was a bisexual female or a gay female.
You know based off him, if we talking about the same situation, it ended up being a dude, and he said he served with him. But
that right? Yeah. I definitely like to ask old boy about that because I was out there, man. I was out. You know how somebody say they visited the area. Man, put it this way, I was down there in Philly where we watched a dude get kicked out of store. Well, this dude, them stores down there got the plexiglass up. Like it's all. If you ain't used to that shit is dehumanizing. It's dehumanizing to walk into a store and see plexiglass. Like the shit's so faded, you could barely make out what it is. You just gotta point to shit, and they slide like it's no kind. The shit it look like animal. Like what type of area is this where you got plexiglass everything and you can't even see the shit and beer? Yeah, but you selling beer and wine and shit. So the dude threatened the Chinese lady, so she start clicking down like the front door, the mechanical door start coming down. So she's like, y'all get out. Otherwise you're gonna be locked in the store. So we leave out. So we stand on the corner. So we trying to order some drink. And I hear a car screech and somebody say, oh shit. And I turn around, a dude get hit on a bike. When he fell off the bike, his wine bottle dropped on the ground. It don't bust. It rolled towards me right where I'm at walking. I bend down, scoop it up, and go right to him and hand it to him, start talking with him. This is on camera, my nigga. This is on camera. Yeah. I'm telling you, man. Hey, yeah, Philly is a motherfucker, man, with that drug, that fentanyl down there. Man, I never seen nothing like that.
But it's just like that. Now go ahead. What you gonna say?
You see more white people down there than black people, but you see enough blacks and Spanish people down there sprinkled in enough to make a difference. But you see a lot of white people that young and old. Yeah, man, it's a motherfucker, and it's legal. It's like drug use is legal down there because nobody's going to jail behind that. But also, I was down there during COVID, man, so that's why I got my ideas about COVID too, because I didn't see nobody down there was dying at COVID. I'm talking about open source drug use. I ain't see nobody fall out. It was stores were serious about the mask, but that's just one of them. If you in a blue state, they gonna pump that mask. I don't know if you noticed that. They're gonna pump that mask in the blue states and have you petrified.
Yeah, I caught COVID, and I don't want to get too much on that because they they'll fuck with your channel on that. But
So
I had
COVID,
caught it.
you think it's
You think
possible
what?
you caught a you think it's possible you caught a variant of the flu that could just been stronger dose?
Possibly, you know what I'm saying? I ain't in no position. Like I said, like it's like, you know, you kind of roll with it. I just know that one day I was cool and I was around someone, you know, who was doing a lot of coughing. And then 2 days after that, 2 days
Like
after
doing a lot
that,
of coughing.
yeah, he's doing a lot of coughing, and I was in close proximity to him. And 2 days after that, nigga, I was in pain. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about full body pain. Now, since then, it's been a while since I had the flu. So I'm trying to think back like what I felt like when I had the flu. So, but I ain't never felt nothing like that, I don't think. You know what I'm saying? Just the whole body. I never had an issue with shortness of breath. But
Yeah.
so far as like body aching, pain, cold sweats, all that, I went through all that. You know what I'm saying? Then I went to the
Yeah. I went
I
through
went
that.
to the
I went through that.
yeah. I went to the emergency room, took the little
I didn't
test.
go. I didn't go. I straight. I just cope with it. I mean, I feel hot, then you know, get cool. I noticed I was sweating that night and all that, man. Yeah, I was for the body. Yeah, I didn't even contemplate that. I didn't even, this is actually before the COVID thing came. This is still 2019. But I
Oh,
felt
okay.
that right there. So yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, you know what
And
I'm saying?
after I had a small stint.
Okay. And then I did maybe like because when I went to the hospital and they told me like that I had it, then I had like maybe like a year before then I had bought like a herbal kit for this, and it worked. You know what I'm saying? I did it. Was taking the regimens, and within like a day or two, like I felt normal. You know what I'm saying? I still had like a little lingering cough a little bit, but I wasn't in no type of pain no more. You know what I'm saying? So you know, whether it was just my own immune system, my own body fighting it, or that actually assisted with it also, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I kind of got past it, and then maybe like 3 weeks after that, I lost the taste and the smell for maybe like 2 days, 2 or 3 days.
I ain't had that.
Yeah. So who knows, man? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Trink is out there. So for all you guys that like popping pills and doing all that crazy stuff, you know, hey, watch out for the Trink. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I don't know. That was the one thing about me, man. I never tried if it wasn't cigarettes, liquor, and weed. Like I ain't never tried, man. I was always like, I'm straight. I ain't never take no chances with it. You know what I'm saying? So for the people out there that's on some experimental stuff or that's y'all norm, you know what I'm saying? You be out there with your knuckles dragging, looking like a zombie, fucking around. Oh, real,
That's crazy right there. I don't know how they do it. I would never experiment with no. I mean, goddamn, drug.
Yeah, that shit crazy, man. But yeah, we're gonna get off into this last topic. We're gonna wrap it up, man. Wrap it up. This HB 1020 bill that was signed in Mississippi. I'm just gonna read a little bit of it, man, and get your take on it off grid, and so the people will be legit abreast to it. You know, I don't know how many people. I know one of my guys. I sent him the link, but he ain't hop on because he live in Mississippi and he knew all about it. But I'm gonna share my screen right quick on this one, then we're gonna wrap up. So it said Governor Reed signs racially divisive HB 1020 legal challenge could loom. Legislation that could create a separate judicial district within Jackson, the state's capital and the largest city, was signed into law Friday by Governor Tate Reeves. Reeves has indicated earlier in the week that he was signing legislation. House Bill 1020 generated national attention by creating a separate judicial district in the wider and more affluent areas of Jackson, the nation's blackest large city. Judges in the district will be appointed by white Chief Justice of the Supreme Court instead of elected by the majority black voters. So with that right there, the Supreme Court is making the decisions on who's elected.
Right.
Okay. There are questions about the constitutionality of the bill. Many have speculated it will be challenged in court because it takes the right to elect judges away from the citizens of Hinds County. The Mississippi Constitution calls for judges to be elected, though there are examples where judges are appointed on a temporary basis by the Supreme Court Chief Justice. Whether House Bill 1020 creates a allowable exception for usurping the electoral rights of Hinds County citizens could be decided by the courts. I say that right? Whether House Bill 1020 creates a allowable exception for usurping the electoral rights of Hinds County citizens could be decided by the courts. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that word right. The final version of the bill sent to the governor watered down the more controversial aspects of the legislation as it was introduced during the 2023 session, but it would still be garnered the support. It still would be garnered the support of only one of the 53 African-American members of the legislature. Okay. Jackson legislators conceded the city needed help with this spiraling crime problem, but said the proposal that passed the legislators and was signed Friday by the governor created more problems than it solved. Okay. Man, what was he telling me? My buddy from he was saying it was somebody who defended Tupac Shakur from when he caught them cases with them. He caught them cases with them with them shooting them cops that damn, I can't remember. My boo boo. He got a weird African name, but his son is the mayor now. Now, not Matulu, not Matulu. Let me see if I can find it right quick. But basically, this sounds like they just, taking the power out the fucking hands of the people and deciding who they want to put in the motherfucking
right.
Who they want to put in office. I mean, shit. I don't know. Are you someone that believes in the voting system?
I mean, voting locally, nationally, there's some doubt there nationally because that's the big wigs. But like locally, you definitely can get involved and can support a candidate that starts out grassroots, and that way you know what their core values is, and you can invest in them. You can even raise somebody, and going through like city council or being an alderman or just even starting smaller as a community activist. Remember that's where Obama supposed to allegedly came from, grassroots activists. You know what I mean? That's what they were trying to clown him on. He rose all the way to presidency, even though it was some other shit involved with that. But yeah, I think vote. I mean, if you don't believe that it don't work, then it's like, I think if motherfuckers believe that voting don't work and they do what they want to do, then why you ain't went and bore arms and declare this area, this your area, don't come over here. I'm right here. I feel like that's bullshit when people be acting like, oh, the government, then why you ain't declare war then? Why you ain't defending yourself?
Right. It's Chakwi Lumumba.
Yeah, okay, yeah, kind of brown skinned dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of him. I've heard of him.
Yeah, he been going in about this particular legislation being passed. The way my buddy was breaking it down to me, he was just basically saying it's like basically an all white situation where you're gonna have a predominantly black city being governed in a sense by this separate entity of legislation. I wish he was on here. He could go in on it more, but I guess he was making it seem like you get locked up by this particular because I think it was a particular police force that's involved with this too, not just the elected officials, but the actual police force that's with these officials, that it's just like a whole separate entity outside of the normal police and court system of Mississippi or this particular county. Some shit, but I'll keep y'all abreast to it. I'm gonna have him come on and break it down more because I really don't feel like reading no long ass articles tonight on the real. But yeah, man, in closing, there y'all have it, man. We got Chinese police stations popping up all over the United States. We got the Mallerys, people probably still donating to a cause that, seemed like it was somewhat fabricated, if not all the way fabricated. It seemed like it's just a ploy to get more money from the Black community. We got the new drug Trank on the rise, some more shit to fuck people up in the game. And then we got Jim Crow bills being passed in Mississippi. Just I don't know, man. Just what you gonna leave us with on grid? It's crazy out here, man.
R.I.P. Jerry Springer, man. R.I.P. Jerry Springer, man.
Damn, that's just the fucking cherry on the.
That man, it is. That man put in 30 years of allowing niggas to look like buffoons and coons, and Black people got the nerve to get on social media and be like, they calling him Unc. They call it, some man is calling him Unc Jerry.
Uncle Springer, huh?
Yeah, I'm thinking like, man, boy. I posted on my page. The sister was like, yeah, condolences to the family. I'm thinking like, damn. See, that's why I said, man, corny Black. I don't feel no connection to people like that, man. I don't feel no connection. I had somebody get mad at me today because talking about, when you be calling people like that monkeys, that's your opinion. I'm thinking like, I can prove that person is a monkey. Like, why the fuck would you be thinking, like, that shows you that somebody that don't understand Black exploitation. It's like,
yeah.
I don't know, man. It's I guess the white man can blame that as his gift and his curse, because like he's like the epitome of enacting racism and being racist. Black people really don't have it, you know what I'm saying? But the Black people who make those comments like that for these white entertainers and these people, it's like, it's unbelievable, man. I mean,
and I remember, man,
somebody told me they didn't even analyze the show like that. Like, Black people, it's just a show entertainment. And I'm thinking like, that's when you know you elevated in your thinking, when you don't have to resort to looking at things based on how somebody gave it to you or just plain out as they are. No scrutinizing, no critical thinking, no forethought, no secondary thinking. Like nothing comes into play. That's when you really see that people. There's some people that don't know how to use their mind, man. There's. Have you heard of functioning illiterate? Yeah. Okay. So there's people that can function. I mean, there's people that's not diagnosed. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. They're not developmentally delayed. They're smart, or they can be smart. All this shit. They're teachable. It's just that based on their routine with how they live their life, there's no elevated thinking. So basically, they just like one step above somebody who's like retarded. They just one step above. You know what I mean? When you compare them to people that know what's going on, when you compare them to people that know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? So somebody who's saying, yeah, rest in peace, Unc Jerry, like, that's somebody who just don't. If you tell them, man, that show Black exploited us. Well, what you mean? It was white people on there too. Nah, nigga, that's white trash. They had us. Oh, well, now that you say it that way, yeah, I can see. So like, if you have to explain shit like that that's learning to be on code. That's going to be on code. As soon as you see something like a Jerry Springer, you see it for what it is. That's Black people being exploited. You know what I mean? You don't have to do this whole roundabout thing of analyzing what he had white people on there too, but they volunteered to go on there. But nah, he was a little bit of everybody in there. It's like, nah, it doesn't matter. With that was an apparatus for us to look bad. We was his bread and butter on there, man. I've watched it before. I think you could be hypocritical and not really know what time it is when you don't watch something like that. Now, some shit I'm gonna be proud to say I don't know about it, and I don't give a fuck. Like that anime, that's one of them. The anime shit, I don't give a fuck about that shit. I don't care what it is. I feel like I ain't missing nothing. I don't care nothing about that. I'll speak on it. I think it's weird for Black people to start adapting some goddamn Asian culture. It's like, y'all niggas don't get enough of going to them stores, eating that squirrel meat and all the different shit they've been feeding us that nobody really knew what it was. Dirty kitchens in the background. They never made TV commercials about Chinese food. Never really had to advertise because they open. It's like they they already know. You know what I'm saying? I make a joke saying that it's a Chinese man that rented out this store, and all he did was, it was supposed to be a food store. He put all these signs in the window, Wang's chicken and fried chicken, all this and that. But he never opened. All he did was just had a big old greaser in the back, and he would just frying grease. He just had the grease and the smell of grease going through his exhaust all through the neighborhood. And people was anticipating for his open. They was putting in orders and everything. He never opened. He just ready to run off with people's money. Black people just put money in it. They smelled some chicken burning. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even gotta see it. We ain't gotta see it. All we gotta do is just smell it. You know what I'm saying? That's how they get us on shit like that, man. There's, you ever heard of this place called New York Chicken, I think? It's called New York Chicken, New York Pizza. It's a chain that I guess it comes from New York, but it's a cheap chain where you just pick out a building and they set you up in the building. They tell you what freezers to get, they hook you up. It's a franchise. And it's cheap chicken that's full of salt. Cheap chicken that's full of salt, man. When I was in Baltimore, I was walking past one of them, and I swear to God, I seen the man pull a pick. They cook it in big old pans. He pulled a pan out the oven, and he was sprinkling so much. But I'm walking by the window, and I seen him pull it out, and you can smell it. He's shaking this thing, and I'm seeing this cloud of dust. Man, the cloud of dust was the salt. That's how much salt he was putting on it. It was a big old pan. He was doing this. It was a cloud of salt. I'm thinking like that's like, god damn, like, he finna kill niggas. And yeah, man, New York City,
That's crazy.
Man, like powder. Like he was shaking baby powder in the air. It was salt. Man, that's how they do us, man. Crazy.
And I remember going back to the Jerry Springer shit. I remember when Jerry Springer was popping, I was that shit been on for so long, but when it was like a thing to go see, I think I was like in 7th or 8th grade, man. And I used to like catch like the last maybe like the last 20 minutes of that shit. 20, 15 minutes of it. Because just when school was getting out, you had a certain amount of time to get there and watch the shit. And you know, it's definitely exploitation. And it speaks to how we, it speaks to the like the negativity a little bit when it comes to, people, period. You know what I'm saying? Because we want to see motherfuckers get their ass beat. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the whole point of seeing the shit to get the fight. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's what motherfuckers just want to see their ass beat. And then now with social media, you get like just an influx of that. You can just pull up YouTube videos, anything. Now, nigga, you seeing motherfuckers getting their head blew off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like niggas and shit. Them be the most popular channels right there. And I don't even, I see it, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I can't even take that shit sometimes, man. It just be like, man, like another nigga got killed. You know what I'm saying? It just gets to a point where it's just
I can't. To me, that's like the lowest of the low. I hate when if I be somewhere and Jerry Springer is on, whether it's in a store or at a laundromat. You know what I'm saying? Even seeing, I just can't believe people be watching that shit. Still watching it, Jerry Springer show.
Yeah, I actually knew a girl who was an escort for Jerry Springer. Oh, the real. I just. Hey, I knew a girl. She used to escort. Her and her friend used to go up to his. He had like a penthouse downtown Chicago. And they used to go up there and party and shit with Jerry Springer. So,
is that right?
Hell yeah.
I wanted they cried when he passed. That they put a RIP.
I'm pretty sure she did. The way she was breaking it down, how he was hitting it with that bread. Shit, she lost out on her payday when he died. If she was still doing it,
if she was still doing it,
yeah. Well, that's it, y'all. Ears to the street with Fact and Entertainment. Me. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. I want to thank my man's Off Grid for coming on, tapping in with us once again. We just come to bring y'all the information, man. You know what I'm saying? From our perspectives, hit y'all with these facts. And we just gonna keep doing it, man. Keep building up the channel. Support us. We got the Cashapp for support. We got Off Grid has the event going on. Not the event. He has a more so
an invite for
Yeah.
Memorial Day weekend to come on down and participate in us building this this tiny house, man. Brother gonna be building a tiny house, so you can come down here and participate in that from whichever way is comfortable for you. I know a lot of people don't know how to build, or you may know how to build. You know how to build, man. Come on down and get a chance to be off grid with some brothers and some sisters, and we cook down here and eat good and work hard, and build shit, and and be able to relax. There's no electrical socket or anything hooked up to any of this back here. You know what I'm saying? We in the backwoods. All the cabins got electricity up in them, and it's just like being in the city. It said there's no power grid hooked up, and you don't have to hear all the noise and see the random people and all that. So you can
Yeah. Yeah.
get back for a second.
Yeah.
And get a
Yeah, real
mind, get a mind change.
Oh, most definitely. Like I said, someone who experienced it was down there for 2-3 days.
Yeah, man, tell them how it was. Yeah, tell them how it was.
Man, it was dope, man. It was dope. The whole experience was just eye-opening. It really gave me it just enhanced my perspective, on this whole, kind of getting away from society in a sense. You know what I'm saying? And doing something, what they've done, doing something for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? By ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And like I said to y'all when we was down there, I just think what y'all doing is like kind of like the premise of what we all should be doing if we really talking about this Black Power thing that we always yelling on the internet and all that. We need to have a situation where we link up, stop bickering over the BS, over the lame shit. Put some money in, grab some land. We don't got to be knowing each other for 1,000 years to get this done. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Don't take that much time. You know what I'm saying? Let's chop it up. You know what I'm saying? Have a few conversations. Let's link up. Let's put some bread up. Let's get some land. Let's establish some residents, some structures where we can live in. And you guys got the whole blueprint down there. So, I was just soaking up the whole experience, man, because it's my first time doing something like that. I was at peace in those cabins, bro. You know what I'm saying? When I woke up in the middle of the night, you know what I'm saying, had me a little something to, you know what I'm saying, smoke on, you know what I'm saying, pop the TV on, you know what I'm saying, was comfortable, was relaxed, felt that peace, man. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy myself. You know what I'm saying? Immensely. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy myself. You know what I'm saying? So
you gotta come down for the thing, man. And
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Most definitely. Well, y'all make sure y'all get in contact with me off grid. You know what I'm saying? If y'all have interest in coming down there and help them with that particular project, or just want to go down there and experience the off grid living, definitely worth the time and the energy. But man, we signing off. Ears to the Street with Fact and Entertainment Meet. Make sure y'all hit that like button, that subscribe button, and we'll holler at y'all. We out.
peace.